Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and today I'm gonna be doing another movie review. This is gonna be for the 2014 movie, American Sniper. So yeah, this movie has been nominated for Oscars recently, and I've been wanting to watch this movie for some time. Not just because it's been nominated for Oscars, but I have been wanting to watch the movie because of its plot, which I'll get into it later. So yeah, and this movie stars Bradley Cooper, Kyle Gallner, Cole Connors, Ben Reed, Alice Robertson, Luke Sunshine, Troy Vincent, Brandon Salgado Tellis, Kier O'Donnell, Marnette Patterson, Jason Hall, Billy Miller, Leonard Roberts, Jason Walsh, and Reynaldo Gallegos. So yeah. Before I begin on the actual review though, 10-second spoiler warning as usual for those that have yet to actually watch the movie and haven't already. Stop the video, go check it out, and come back here and watch the rest of this review. 10-second spoiler warning as usual, starting now. Okay, so 10 seconds are up. So for those that have yet to actually watch this movie and haven't already, please don't comment down below or be messaging me. Then never give you a fair warning, because as usual, I did. So yeah, American Sniper, what's about as usual, quick synopsis, likes and dislikes, and then the rates. So basically, American Sniper follows the story of Chris Kyle, who is a cowboy turned soldier, and he's basically considered to be one of the best snipers around. He's considered a legend in sniping history, and yeah, it's basically his story in becoming the legendary sniper he was up until his death, which his death was pretty ironic, and it sucks the way he went, and it also sucks because it is a true story, and the fact that he died in that way, which I'll get to later, kind of sucks, but whatever. So yeah, I mean, I do understand now why it's been nominated like 5 times over for different awards. I mean, it's been nominated for Best Picture, Best Actor for Bradley Cooper, Best Sound Mixing, and Best Sound Editing, and yeah, I mean, I understand why it's been nominated for so many you know stuff. But here's the thing though, it does have great sound mixing and sound editing. You can't argue with that. It's not something I really don't. It's not something I usually don't pay attention to. But since the Oscars are around and they nominated for it, I paid a little bit extra attention to it. So I guess in a sense it does deserve that. Bradley Cooper. Lately he's been in a string of pretty great movies recently. I mean, last year he was in Guardians of the Galaxy, and then like the year before he was also nominated for American Hustle. So he's been in a couple of good movies recently. Because normally you know him for The Hangover, but he does actually have some actual talent, some actual acting chops. And this movie does show how far his acting chops goes, because he's able to play this completely normal guy at the beginning of the movie to at the end of the movie having almost post-traumatic stress syndrome, or yeah, post-traumatic stress syndrome or whatever disorder by the end of the movie. I mean, it kind of does borderline that at the end, because the guy in real life, Chris Kyle, he didn't really have it, but it does seem for like a moment in his life he did have it, but he did overcome it. So yeah, Bradley Cooper, I do think he deserves the award, but I don't think he's gonna win. I still think the award for best actor in a leading role would have to go to Eddie Redmayne. Yeah, Eddie Redmayne, who was in The Theory of Everything, and he portrayed Stephen Hawking. I think that one should go to him. But Bradley Cooper, it is a good call to nominate him for that role, and it was a really great role for him, and I did enjoy it. Now Best Picture. Now, what should it have been nominated for Best Picture? There's 10 there's a maximum of 10 movies for Best Picture, and they nominated 8. They had American Sniper, Whiplash, Grand Budapest, um, Imitation Game, Theory of Everything, and I forget what the other movies are. That's like what, 5 or 6? Yeah, they had Whiplash, whatever, but they had some movies in it, and should have. I do think that it should have been considered for Best Picture. The thing is that if logically, if the Best Picture category would have been filled up with all 10 categories, it would have been a four-way tie, in my opinion. There would have been like those two or three spaces left, and there's like 4 or 5 movies I do think should would have deserved that spot a little bit better, from what I've heard or from what I've seen, than American Sniper, such as Gone Girl. I do think should have nominated from what I've heard. So yeah, for example, Foxcatcher, I do think that was snubbed. That Foxcatcher and Gone Girl, I think were snubbed like a fucker in the Oscars this season. So I do think, yeah, if American Sniper wouldn't have, I think, for me, American Sniper, um, for me, could be on the Best Picture list, which it is. At the same time, it really wouldn't bother me if it wasn't on the Best Picture list. So I do think there are a few other movies I think are better deserved, such as Gone Girl and Foxcatcher, just to name a few. So yeah, and something funny, which I didn't even realize it till like yesterday. Some people are apparently pissed that Saint Vincent didn't get nominated for Best Picture. I'm like, the fuck? Why would Saint Vincent be nominated? But you know, whatever. Never mind. It was a good movie, but yeah, whatever. I'm getting off track. Yeah, but whatever the fuck. So I mean, for me, Best Picture was, yeah, it is kind of debatable. It does deserve the spot, but I do think there are other movies that are better deserving than American Sniper. So yeah, I mean, the way Chris Kyle died, the main character, in real life, because it is a true story. The way he died is basically he's trying to help this other patient who has post-traumatic stress syndrome, and the guy basically kills him, and I believe he's on trial, or currently on trial or something, or was on trial or whatever. So yeah, it kind of sucks that he died in that fashion. That he died in his own land trying to help someone instead of a war trying to help someone. So yeah, the war aspect of the film was pretty interesting. Was pretty cool to see. Him sniping down people left and right. That was pretty cool. And even when he's not sniping people from the air, when he's actually on the ground, on land trying to shoot people with a handgun or whatever. That's also pretty interesting. Yeah, I think the one of the main problems, and it's really it's a small problem with it, could have been improved in the film, is his relationship with his wife, and I forget who plays her. His wife, his wife, whatever. The lady that plays his wife, she was a great actress and stuff, but her character I just don't think was written that well. It just wasn't written all that well. And I do think, yes, Sienna Miller was the one who portrayed the wife, and I just don't think her characters was written well, because there are times when she basically puts like this: it's either their relationship or the country. She basically makes like an ultimatum type of choice for Chris Kyle. Either you go off and fight the war and I divorce you, or you stay here and you fuck our country or something like that. So I mean, she was kind of a bitch in my opinion. At least that's how the movie portrays her. So I mean, that's really my only fault with the movie. I mean, the relationship aspect, I mean, didn't really take up that much in the movie, but every time it was in a family, I just kind of wanted for him to like go back to the war, go back to something more interesting. So I mean, some of the family aspects could have been improved, but overall it was a pretty great movie. Definitely do check it out. And yeah, I mean, Bradley Cooper does deserve the nomination, and the people who do the sound mixing and sound editing do deserve the nomination. But the Best Picture nomination is a bit questionable, in my opinion, as I agree with everybody else. I do think that one would have been more deserving to other movies. As I said before, Gone Girl would have been a better choice, in my opinion, or Foxcatcher. So yeah, but I think out of all the Best Picture categories or nominees, Grand Budapest Hotel surprised me the most, because I didn't even think it was gonna get on it. I mean, it was a good movie, but I didn't realize it. So yeah. Aside from the points, yeah, that's based on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and 6 being decent. I'd give American Sniper a 9 out of 10. The only issue being the whole family aspect of it at times, and yeah, that's basically it for now. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, and comic book reviews. So definitely do stay tuned for that. Aside from that, comment down below on your thoughts on the movie. Have you seen it? If not, why not? And if you have, what are your thoughts on it? And aside from that, like the video, share on Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, or whatever you guys prefer. And that's basically it for now. This is Daniel Mart signing off.